Welcome to the module number 25 of the digital marketing course. In this module, we are going to talk directly about content creation. In content marketing, everything was revolving around content, and we were doing all the planning and we were doing the competitor research, audience research, niche research. For what? For actually going ahead and creating the content, because it is the content which is the king. Content is going to engage people. Content is going to tell people that you are good at what you are preaching, actually. Okay, that you know what you are talking about, that you are an expert in what you are talking about, and your knowledge is going to actually make you seem like an expert. Okay, now, obviously you can be an expert as well. Like you might be having some specializations with you, some certifications with you from the prestigious universities of the world, but that's not a requirement to start blogging. If you are just one step ahead of any other person who's trying to achieve what you are trying to achieve as well, then you are a relative expert to that person. Okay, and you can actually then share your journey about learning something, about maybe traveling, anything that you are trying to do with your blog. Okay, so people can actually be inspired because you are one step ahead of them and they haven't even crossed that one hurdle that you have. Alright, so let's talk straight away about content creation. So what do you have to think about before creating the content? So the first thing that you need to think about is the business goals, or if you have some personal goals for your blog, then you need to actually figure out those goals. And they should not be any vague goals like I want to increase my traffic to this, okay, I want to make money. Okay, it should not be like that. It should be something very quantifiable and comparable. Like it should be something like I will increase my website visitors to 1,000 visitors a month in 3 months. All right, now this kind of a goal is quantifiable, it's measurable, and it's comparable. You have given yourself a deadline that within 3 months you are going to increase your monthly visitors to 1,000 visitors. Okay, so after 3 months your blog should be actually getting 1,000 visitors a month. All right, so this is one kind of a goal. Then there can be some other specific goals like I want to make this much amount of money within 6 months after starting my blogging. All right, with these goals in mind, then your mind will get focused towards creating only that much content and doing only that things that will help achieve your goal. Okay, so what kind of goals are there actually? The goals can be increasing sales, generating more leads, get more social media followers, improving the reputation. You might be working on branding and you want to just get more visits. All right, so what all steps you are going to do to increase to get these results? That will be a goal for you. It has to be something specific and something quantifiable so that you can measure it and you can compare it with the time that you have actually spent. That were you able to achieve the results that you had decided? So that's a goal. Okay, and every piece of content that you write must have an objective. Like if you are writing a blog post, then how are you going to end it? What are you going to ask people to do? Are you just going to just straight away give all the information and just end it like that? Or would you want to ask them a question for which they should reply in the comment section? Or would you ask them to share your article on social media, which will be more valuable for you actually? So I think you have gotten the answer, right? So I'm not going to explain that again. So the first thing that you have to do is thinking about the business goals. After you have done that, what you have to do is you have to choose a topic to write. Okay, and the topic should actually be relevant to the target audience. It should be unique. The content that you will create should be unique. Well, it's not actually quite possible to create 100% unique things today, because whatever you are thinking or whatever you are choosing as a topic, there are chances that a number of people have already written about it, have already researched about it. But still, you can make it unique using your own experience and using your own perspective. Like, the eyes through which you see the world is always going to be different, than the person sitting next to you. Okay, maybe he's writing on the same topic as well, but your perspective, your experience, and your way of analyzing things is going to be different, and that is what is going to make you unique as a content creator, and that is what makes anybody unique. Okay, and if you have also figured out the USP of your brand, okay, that how are you different from your competitors, then that thing is going to make you unique. Okay, if you're doing some stuff which your competitors are not doing and which is actually quite helpful for the target audience, then obviously that thing is unique and you need to include that thing in your content. Alright, the third thing is that it should be necessary for the target audience. Like, I told you that, either they want to solve a problem or they want to enhance their interests, right? Or, we also talked about their hopes, pains and desires, right? Everything. So it should be necessary to them in some sort of manner that why they should go ahead and read your blog article. Okay, so this is how you choose a topic. You need to think about these aspects before choosing a topic, and I'm going to show you how actually you can record the data, how can you document the data. So it's time for one more template that I'm going to share with you, which you can actually use to plan your content marketing efforts, for 6 months down the line, for 1 year down the line as well. And when you do that, it actually saves you a lot of mental pressure and time, because now you know that, okay, I have thought about what I'm going to publish in the coming 6 months or in the coming 1 year. So I don't have to worry about researching blog topics again. I don't have to worry about researching headline ideas again. I don't have to worry about finding inspiration for creating blog content. Okay, I'm going to show you that in just a second. So let's just dive straight into it. I'll explain you the point later. So I have opened with me in my browser the list of blog post ideas sheet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if you have an idea, right, if you have any kind of an idea related to your niche, when you were researching about the niche, you saw that people were talking about some stuff, they had some questions in their mind, so you can just write those ideas over here, the vague ideas. Okay, like when we talk about weight loss, you can just write weight loss over here. Then in specific topic, you can actually go ahead and niche it down, that regarding weight loss, what are you going to write. So you can just fill in all the tabs, all the columns here. Like if from one idea you can create 7 different kinds of topics, then you can create 7 different kinds of blog articles. Isn't that great? And while researching, when you are getting these ideas in your mind, you obviously are reading somewhere, right? So what is your research source? You have to just paste the links of those research sources as well. Now, how is this going to help you? Why would you need to add in the research source? Actually, 6 months down the line, or maybe 3 months down the line, when you are going to write the next article for your blog, you won't have to research for your content again. That will save you a lot of time, because maybe somewhere down the line over here, there is an article idea that you were supposed to publish 3 months down the line. So you already know that, okay, about this topic, I'm going to research from this link, and then I'm going to make my article better, right? You are going to make it better than your competition. All right, now this is also where your competitor research comes into picture. Now, if this idea has come into your mind, chances are your competitors have already written article on that topic. So what you're going to do is, you're going to open up your sheet of competitor research that I talked about in the previous video, and you can then research what the competitors have written on that specific idea. And I told you that I'm going to talk about a technique where you can make your article even better than your competition, and that technique is called the Skyscraper Technique. Okay, the name is Skyscraper Technique. This name was coined by an SEO expert named Brian Dean. Okay, and this technique says that when you want to rank above your competitors, when you want to make your content better than your competitors, what you can do is, you can take the efforts that they have put in, all right, and you can make your article even better than that. So for example, the topic idea that you choose was that losing weight in 15 days without exercise. Okay, so you researched your competitors, and you found out that the competitor has written 10 ways to lose weight without exercise in 15 days. So what you're going to do is, you can actually change that. You can take inspiration from those 10 points, and you can add in 5 points on your own, right? So then your article will become 15 tips on how to lose weight without exercise and just by eating diet. All right, so that way you just added in more information than your competition. And let me tell you that Google rewards blog posts that are lengthier. Okay, so your blog posts have to be lengthier to get ranked, because a lot of companies, brands are writing big blog posts, and the reason is because Google prefers branded content. Google only shows the content of trusted sources to the people. So if you want to get traffic from Google, you'll have to prove to Google that you are a trusted source of information. All right, and how will you do that? When you are actually producing great quality content. Okay, and how would Google know that this content is ethical, and this is unique, and this is authoritative? By looking at the comment section of your blog. Okay, and if you have your social media link to your website as well, sometimes Google takes the social signals also, though it is not official. But I'm telling you from my experience that Google actually checks all the associations with your brand. Okay, if you have posted anywhere on some other website, okay, if you have posted from your personal profile on some social media platform, if somebody has given backlink to you, and I'm going to explain what a backlink is in the SEO section, but there are some other factors, okay, that come into play when you have to be better than your competition, and these are those factors. You have to make your content better than them. Obviously, why would somebody read your content if they can read a better piece of content somewhere else? right? So if you increase the number of words, okay, this is not just the only thing to do. I'm just telling you that the skyscraper technique is about adding in more information, more valuable information, not just filler information. You don't have to degrade the quality of your content. You just have to add in more information than your competition, so that you could be unique, you could be better than them in some way or the other. All right, and skyscraper technique is just one of them. So you can then pick up the research source after 3 months, and you can then decide, okay, these 7-8 points have been written by my competition, and I'm going to increase the number of points to maybe 12 or 13 or 15 or 17, and that way you can actually create headline ideas for yourself as well. You can do this while researching, okay, directly while researching. When you have the specific topics, you can write some headline ideas for that particular topic, and that's going to save you time in future. Now, why do I have a separate column for headline ideas? Well, this is because a headline is the most important part of a blog article, one of the most important parts. Why? Because it is the headline that is going to be visible to somebody when you share the article across any platform. Even when Google lists your website, it's the headline that comes on top, right? And even if you share something on social media, the headline is going to be viewed by people first. And if the headline is not catchy enough, if the headline is not good enough for people to click on the article and read the valuable information that you have put inside, well, then your entire article, your entire efforts is going to be a waste. Though you might have the best information out there in the world, but if your headline was not good enough, people are not going to open your article. Okay, so instead of writing vague headlines like how to lose weight, you should be specific about like 7 ways to lose weight without exercise by just eating diet in 15 days. Now that becomes a specific headline. Which would you actually rather want to open? Just tell me. Right, you guessed it, right? So second one will be a better one. So headline ideas, you can write them down, and according to some research, out of 10 headlines, only 2 headlines get opened. Other 8 headlines are not good enough for people to open it. Okay, so it's very important for you to create a great headline, and in the upcoming videos I'm going to reveal a tool that can help you actually create better headlines for yourself. And also I'm going to share some other tools related to the grammar, okay, related to how you can be good in English. You might not be perfect in English right now, but using some tools, you can actually improve your article based on the feedback that you get using the tools that I'm going to share. All right, so let's talk about that in the upcoming videos. Coming back to this list of blog post ideas, as you have mentioned the specific topics, right? So you can specify the publishing date as well. Like, you have to be consistent when you are creating content, okay? Because a lot of other companies are very consistent. They are even producing 1 piece of content a day. Some of them are producing 1 piece of content per week. Some of them are producing, 2 content pieces per month. And some are just producing 1 piece of content per month. So there's not any fixed number like you have to produce this much content only. It's not about just churning out content, churning out low grade, low quality content. It's not about that. It's about creating quality content, but it has to be consistent. Because when you start distributing your content, when you start promoting your content, and your content is starting getting liked by people, so they actually expect you to deliver based on what you have been doing. So if you have been publishing a 2000 word article on every Wednesday, then you'll have to stick to that deadline. Okay, it's a recommendation that you do that. So you can just add in the publishing dates over here as well while doing the research. So this way you can actually just you can plan your 6 months of content in advance. Like if I want to produce 1 article per week, so within 6 months, that is within 24 weeks, I will need 24 articles to be written, right? So I am going to write 24 headline ideas and specific topics. I'm going to just research them. And you don't have to just stop at that. If while researching you're getting a lot of ideas, you can actually just put them in this sheet, because it's going to save you time in future only. All right, so that way, this is actually what content marketing is. It's about planning. Okay, it's about planning first and then going ahead and creating content. All right, so let me give you an example. So all of you might be watching movies or web series. So you just think about it, that when was the idea actually came up in somebody's mind, and then it was discussed with a few people, and then the script was written, and after that the production began, right? The video production began, and after that the release date was announced, and then the marketing effort started, and then after maybe 1 year or 2 years down the line, a film was released or a web series was released. So just imagine the amount of planning that went into producing just 1 movie. Okay, and obviously depending upon the numbers that a movie gets, that a web series gets, right, the amount of money that they generate, all the 2 years work, 2 years of work actually gets profitable. Okay, and this is how you need to think about your content efforts as well, because this is a long-term game. This is not just a short-term game. You are learning digital marketing, but you are simultaneously building a brand for yourself as well. We're not going to just learn right now and then after practicing for 6 months we are not going to switch to something else. Okay, so since you are a brand, since you are a business already, it's your business and it's going to stay for the entirety of your lifetime maybe. So you need to have that vision even before creating the first piece of content. All right, so this is the sheet that I'm going to share with you. The link is going to be below this video, but let me just show you one example of how to fill up this sheet. So when I was researching for one of my websites, right, like the health websites I showed you in the previous video, right? So my idea was weight loss, and in the weight loss the specific topic was lose weight fast, then it was keto diet, and then it was just diet. And then with the lose weight fast, I had these 3-4 sources of researches. Okay, and then I had these different kinds of headline ideas from my competitors. I told you the competitors are going to be your best friends, so these are all written by competitors and I have linked those articles. Okay, so I have also given them a publishing date like 20th December 2019, and then the next one was to be in November. I guess there's a mismatch in date, and then in 2020 it became April 3, then on May 2, right? So this is how I was doing my research. So you can see the topics: dental care, skin care, then bodybuilding, psychological, blood pressure. This is how I fill my sheet, right? And this way I know that okay, next week which article am I going to write. I have my ideas, I have my headlines right here, and I just have to pick one, check out the research source links, and then make the article better by collaborating my information. So not everything has to be unique. Some things are going to be the same, right? When you're talking about the weight loss tips, so if it's about working out in the gym or working out at the home, and then if there is a certain kind of an exercise that you have to do, so that's going to be the same, right? But the way you present it's going to be unique. All right, so I hope you have understood what I meant by content marketing and content planning. Okay, this is planning. The publishing dates being written here well in advance, so this helps me stay on track. Okay, that okay, this much amount of content I'm going to produce. If you have a team with you, you can actually outsource this task to the team and they can produce content for you. So you will be prepared well in advance. Like you can then schedule your blog posts in WordPress, right? I talked about the scheduling feature, so you can do that as well. So I'm going to share this template with you just like I promised. So let's get back to our mind node and understand what are the steps of publishing. Okay, now what is a business goal and what topic to choose, how to choose a topic, right? And how to document all the stuff. But when you sit to actually create content, what all steps do you need to follow? So steps to publishing, the first one is generating the blog outline. Okay, just like an index in a book. Just if you have a topic idea like 7 tips on do this, then just mention those 7 tips first, and within each of the tip just create more sub headlines. Okay, that okay, this is what I'm going to talk about in this point, then move to the next point, this is what I'm going to talk about in this point. So this way you are generating the blog outline, and when you have the outline ready, you are now very clear and you are focused that okay, this is how my article is going to flow, and this is what I'm going to start with, and this is what I'm going to end with. All right, even before creating your article, even before sitting to research and sitting to write and just sit on your laptop and just produce the actual body of the article. So first, always generate the blog outline. After that, you are going to prepare the first draft. So you just have to sit and hit keys on the keyboard and churn out the content. Okay, while preparing the first draft, don't think about the mistakes that you are making. Now writing and editing are 2 different processes, and you won't believe me when I say that writing is done by a different part of the brain and editing is done by a different part of the brain. Okay, so writing is the constructive brain and editing is the destructive brain. All right, so whenever you are preparing the first draft, don't worry about the mistakes, the spelling errors, or if you have added in some wrong information or not, that we are going to check out later. Okay, so when you have prepared the first draft, give yourself some time. Like if you are writing 1 blog post per week, and if you sat on a Monday to prepare the first draft, then give yourself a night's sleep, and then next day start editing the article. So that way your subconscious mind would have worked its wonders, and on the next day you might be coming up with even better ideas than the previous day, or you might be reading your first draft and thinking that okay, this was not that much good, let me just change it. Okay, so that way you don't have to do the heavy lifting all at once. You don't just have to generate the blog post outline, prepare the first draft, and edit the article all at once. Break it down. On a Monday, just prepare the blog outline. On Tuesday, just prepare the first draft, because that's going to take time. You'll have to sit for 3 or 4 hours to produce a 2000 word article, and then on a Wednesday, just edit the article. Okay. On Thursday, you can go ahead and add the visuals and design elements, like you can add in the images or any other stuff that you want to include, like videos or audio files. All right, and after that, you can proofread the article for mistakes, like how is it flowing. Actually, you can preview it before publishing. I already showed you the preview feature in WordPress, so you can see how my article is looking, and after that you can set it up for on-page SEO. Now this is something which we're going to talk about in the SEO module, where we are going to add in the elements that are required for SEO. Okay, and I'm going to share a tool with you that's going to help you check whether you have been successful in doing that or not. So this is something to be discussed in the coming modules, but just for your understanding, you should know that you have to set up the blog for SEO as well, because this is the link that you want Google to actually show to people. All right, and after that you just have to hit the publishing button. So these 5 are the main steps, okay, and which are actually time consuming. Like generating the blog outline is also going to take some time, but not that much itself. You can start you can prepare the outline and just start preparing the first draft in one day as well, but always keep a day's gap between the preparing the first draft and editing. Okay, or if you cannot afford that, if you are busy in multiple projects, just give yourself some few hours of time before working on editing the first draft. All right, this is my suggestion. It's obviously up to you on how do you want to do that, but this is the proven process that a lot of writers all across the world use. All right, so this was all in this video. You now know everything related to creating content and how you should actually do that, and I'm going to share the template with you as well. So in the next video, we are going to talk about what to do after you have created the content. Obviously, we want the people to see it, right? We want people to appreciate us for our efforts or provide us feedback if it was not good enough, and for that we have to promote our content. Okay, we have to distribute our content, and that is what we are going to talk about in the next video. So see you then. Stay tuned. Bye bye.